So I bought the ticket. I had to wait overnight in the airport alone, just like on the airport floor pretty much. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today will be my third video, which is pretty exciting for me. I'm going to be doing a video that I've seen go around YouTube quite a bit before I got started, and it was something I was always like, well, if I ever have a YouTube channel, that'd be a cool video to do. So without further ado, today I'll be sharing my worst purchases in my 20s. So when looking back at these videos, I was obviously thinking about bad purchases that I had made in the past, and I thought they'd be fun to share with you guys. Either way, today I'll be sharing 3 purchases that I've made and come to regret in my 20s. So one of the first purchases that came to my mind when I was brainstorming for this video wasn't actually that expensive, but it was just kind of the whole experience around that purchase that made me regret it. It was a $150 plane ticket from Germany to France. I know if $150 doesn't sound like a lot at all, but this particular situation made me quite angry to shell out any amount of cash for this. So I'll get into the story now. A couple of years ago in 2016, I did an exchange to Paris, France through my undergrad program. So when I was there, every weekend I'd be going to another European city because tickets between those cities are so cheap. Like one time I got a €7 plane ticket from Paris to Venice, so that just speaks for itself. One weekend, me and my roommates decided to go to Germany. I'm trying to remember what city it was. Oh, Berlin. Okay. Yeah, so we decided to go to Berlin. And yeah, we bought the tickets. Everything was great. Round trip. We were going to be there for like 3 or 4 days and then come back. So the last day of the trip, we get a message in our emails that the plane has been delayed by like 5 hours or something. So once we got that message, we were like, okay, well, let's just go to the airport a little bit later than we would have because we don't want to wait there for like, 8 hours straight when the plane is going to be delayed. So that's what we did. We ended up being there about 2 hours in advance of the plane leaving. Once we got to the airport, we obviously had to check in. So at this point, both my 2 roommates had already checked in online, so they were kind of clear to go. But I hadn't checked in online because it wasn't working for me anymore at that point because it was like, I don't know, too close to the time that the airplane was leaving. So I checked in at the actual stand at the airport. But then once I tried to check in, they were like, oh no, you're not getting on this flight. And I was like, what? Excuse me? I have to get home. And I had school the next day too. So I was like, well, I have to. I'm like, what do you mean? I bought this ticket weeks ago. What's the issue? And they're like, oh, you missed the check-in time. It was at this time and we're not doing it anymore. And they were talking about the old check-in time before the plane had been delayed. So I was like, well, you guys sent the email that the plane was delayed, so we knew, we didn't have to come to the airport right away. And they're like, no, you were still supposed to come and check in. We're like, why would we come and check in 8 hours before the plane leaves? Like, that just does not make sense to me. Anyway, so we went through a bit of back and forth. So after that, it was pointless. I tried talking to 3 different people and none of them were gonna let me go through. They're like, oh, you have to get on another plane, you have to buy another ticket. And I was like, okay. So the next plane out to Paris was the next morning, and it was for $150, even though it was a couple hour flight. And that was I think the most expensive ticket I paid to go anywhere that whole time I was in Europe. So I bought the ticket. I had to wait overnight in the airport alone, just on the airport floor pretty much. So yeah, I kind of went crazy that night. I was FaceTiming my sister and all my friends because I didn't know what else to do for 12 hours alone in the airport when everything was closed too, because overnight they closed all of their stores at the airport. So I was like, there's really nothing I can do. I stocked up on food before they closed, and then that was kind of it. So yeah, that was a pretty terrible experience. It was also a budget airline, and I feel like that's why this happened. I'm sure they probably overbooked the plane in case people didn't show up because it was a budget airline. So yeah, they just let the next person take the seat and I had to wait in the airport. Yeah, that was not great, and to this day I still get angry when I think about that $150 I spent on that ticket. So now for another item that kind of popped in my head when I thought of this video was my Alexander Wang boots that I bought a long time ago. Actually, it was probably like 4 years ago now. I'll post a picture of them on the screen and you guys can see which ones I got, or I'll post a similar ones. But I ended up spending about $500 on the pair of boots. At first I was happy with them because, like, I don't know, I was just really into designer things at that point in my life. And once I got them, obviously, like, I was excited about them a little bit at first, but they were actually pretty bad quality boots, I would say. The water gets through them in like 2 seconds, and they're supposed to be leather. Well, they are leather, but like the seams, I guess, I don't know if they're just like not glued together properly or something, but literally every time I would wear them, and it wouldn't even have to be like in a winter storm or anything, if there was like slight water on the ground, water would get through them and the leather would actually get like really weird. Like, I've had other leather boots that went through snow and water and they looked fine when they came out of it, but these boots, like, I don't know, it's like the leather was like a paper material, because imagine dipping paper in water and it comes out looking like wrinkly, you know, and like a weird texture. Like, that's how they would look after I went in water. And I was like, I feel like that's not supposed to happen. They were also super uncomfortable. I tried them on the other day because I haven't worn them in years, and I put them on, and first of all, like, I could barely get them on. Like, they're so hard to actually like just put your foot in there. Like, you have to like literally like hold your foot up and like, I don't know, just like pull really hard. But then yeah, once you actually get them in and like start wearing them, they are like the most uncomfortable shoes. Your toes start hurting right away, and I would not recommend them to anyone that's planning to buy them. But yeah, I cannot believe I spent that much money on a pair of boots that aren't even comfortable, or a pair of boots in general. So my last worst purchase I made was actually about last year. My sister and I went on a trip to Hawaii, and we stayed at this really nice like 5-star hotel that ended up it was about like, I think it was about $1,500 for 1 week per person, so it was pretty expensive. We were like, well, this is a really nice hotel, so why not try it? We go to Hawaii every year together, so we're like, this is like our treat ourselves vacation. We were really excited to go, and the hotel looked really nice online and in the videos we saw, but once we got there, it was a different story. Actually, the first night I kind of had a bad experience there already. It was like 12 a.m. when we got to the hotel, and they checked us in, and then we also had to pay like a daily resort fee, so you had to pay that up front. So I think it was like $400 US for the resort fee, and I'm from Canada, so obviously that's like way more for me because the conversion isn't that great, so it was probably around like $550 or like $600 at that time. So they gave me the machine and I paid with my card, and then it said like approved, but then I guess on their end, like on their computer, it said that it wasn't approved. So I was like, well, it just said approved on my end, and like I know I have the money, so what's the issue? And she was like, oh, okay, well, just put it in again because like it didn't work on my end. And I was like, okay. So I put it in again, and then I got approved again. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, it says approved now, like it's fine, you can go ahead to your room. So I was like, okay. So initially I was like annoyed because I was like, I know it said approved, so why would it not say approved on the computer's end? Like, I feel like you just charged me twice. And I said that. I was like, oh, I think it might have charged me twice because it did say approved. And she's like, okay, well, you know, we'll keep an eye on it in the next couple of days, and if it pulls your payment twice, we'll let you know and refund you. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know, just like the next couple of days, like interacting with a lot of the employees there, they were like super snobby and just rude. And me and my sister had stayed at other 5-star hotels in Oahu at that point, because we had been there before, and they were all really nice, like helpful. We never had a bad experience at a hotel, and like they're always super welcoming. But at this hotel, like I don't know what they had against us, or you know, maybe like we weren't like their typical demographic, like I don't know what it was, but they were just like super rude. Every time me and my sister wanted to do anything, we'd like avoid as many people as we can because like we didn't want to deal with interacting with them, except for the valet people. They were actually really nice to us, but everyone else wasn't. Another story from that same week, we were in the pool area, which is like where you can just like relax, you'd think. And we came back from this like poke place, and we brought like the poke to go because we like wanted to eat it by the pool at our hotel. So we started eating the food, and then this lady from the hotel comes up to us. She was like, oh, you can't eat this in this area because you can only get like food from the restaurant. I were like, are you kidding? Like, this is literally the only like relaxing, like lounging area in the whole hotel that you can stay at. So can't we just do whatever we want to do? Because like on the other side of the pool, there was this like bar which had like some snacks and food that you could buy from. And like we bought from the other day, so I don't know what her issue was. We're like, well, we don't want that food right now. Like we just wanted our own food. And it was like on the other side. It wasn't like on the bar side that we were sitting. So I didn't see what the issue was. But yeah, she was like, you can't eat that here, so we had to leave. And then for the final straw, I think it was like one of our last nights there, we got like all dressed up because we wanted to take cute pictures at sunset, and we decided to like go down to the pool area to take pictures. But then I can't remember why we had to go to like the first floor, but the pool area was like on the second floor kind of. So we went to the elevators of that floor, but they were taking so long. We're like, oh, okay, it's just one floor. Let's just take the stairs down because it's, you know, easy enough. So we like turned around, and like right across from the elevators, there were stairs and like a sign that had stairs. So we're like, okay, let's go. Like we didn't even think twice about it. And we went, and like we walked down one set of stairs, and then you know how you like have to turn and then walk down another one when it's like a stairwell. So we did that. And once we got to the bottom of the stairs, there was a door. So we went through it, and it took us to like the club of the hotel, and we're like, what? This is not where we were trying to go. And we're like, thank God we like kept that door open. Like my sister kept it open while I went like into the area and looked like where we were, because like it might have locked behind us. So like we came back and we're like, okay, whatever, like let's just go up and I guess take the elevators or find other stairs. So we went back up and we tried to push the door to get back to the second level, and it's locked. So we are now locked from the outside or the inside. I don't know which one it is, but we were locked inside the stairwell. So there was still like the club area where we like could go through, and like we're like, okay, like let's go see like if we can get out that way. So we like put something against the door to like hold it, and I went to look, and like I had no idea where that club led. I was like, it's like pitch black in here. Like it wasn't open yet because it was still like only like 7 p.m. And it was like some weird like hallway of the club. So I was like, okay, well I'm not about to get locked in this club because it's not even open yet. So we went back out, and luckily we had service. So I called the front desk and I was like, oh, like we're locked in this stairwell, can you guys come get us? And I told them which stairwell it was and everything, like the floor and everything, all the details they would need to find us. So 10 minutes goes by and no one has come for our rescue, and they said they were coming right away. So we're like, okay, we'll wait another 5 minutes, I guess, and then call them and see where they are. So we waited 5 more minutes and still no one was there. So we gave them a call and we're like, hey, like, is anyone coming for us? Because we're still stuck here. And she was like, oh yeah, like they were looking for you, but like they can't find you. Where are you guys again? And I'm like, how can you not find us? I said exactly where we were. And so I told them again where we were, and she's like, okay, like someone will be up in a second. We're like, okay. And then like another 10 minutes goes by, no one's there. Another 10 minutes goes by, no one's come. Yeah, we were freaking out at this point because I don't know, like we both have anxiety sometimes in certain situations, and this is one of those situations. So I was trying to like keep calm for her, and then she was trying to keep calm for me, but like we both knew that we were like freaking out internally, but like no one wanted to like vocalize it first, you know, because then it's like, you know, something was really going on. But yeah, so after like, yeah, another 20 minutes pretty much, or maybe even 25, like it was like a ridiculous amount of time, we called them again, and I was like, no one has come for us. And they're like, what, really? Okay, like I'll send the manager up to find you. And we're like, okay, like I don't think this requires a manager, it just requires someone to come get us. I feel like they didn't even like look, like they might have like looked to us for like 2 seconds and then like gave up and then gone back to the desk. So like the manager apparently comes looking for us, and then after a couple of minutes she like calls me, she's like, so where are you guys? Like I can't find you. And I'm like, we're literally on the second floor, like in this spot that I told you. And so we're like literally banging on the door just so she can hear us, because like we're like, I don't know what else to do at this point since they clearly don't have brain cells. But yeah, we were like banging on the door, and like finally after like half an hour or like 40 minutes of waiting, she opens the door, and she was like, the first thing she says to us, she was like, how did you guys get in here? And we're like, you're kidding, right? Like I was so angry at this point, and so was my sister. And I don't even remember what I said. We're both sassy, and we both said something along the lines of like, there's a picture of the stairs right there and it's open. And she's like, oh, this door is supposed to be locked. Okay, that's not our fault. So anyways, that was the last thing that really kind of like pushed us over the edge, and we're like, this place is ridiculous and we're never coming back here. Yeah, it was kind of sad that we spent so much money and we thought we were gonna have, well, we did have such a great time. Like obviously the trip was amazing, but it was just like the little things about the hotel that really kind of grinded our gears and annoyed us a little bit. But I guess now we have some funny stories to tell from the trip, so whatever, it worked out. But yeah, I feel like that definitely was not worth the price that we paid. So yeah, those were kind of my top 3 worst purchases of my 20s so far. I mean, hopefully I won't have any more bad purchases since I'm a little smarter and more careful with my money now. But sometimes, I guess, like that hotel situation, you can't really prevent it. Feel free to share one of your worst purchases in the comments below, and then we can hopefully all laugh at ourselves for spending money like that. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be posting twice a week probably, maybe 3 times. I'll see how I feel, but I don't know, I feel like it's fun making videos, so I might increase it to 3 after a little bit, but 2 for sure. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!